Hey, what's up, people? I should be live. I will be tinting and talking with this Ford F-150 here shortly. Let me see how much of this I can get set up. I just want to see if I can read the comments. How much of this? Okay, I had to kill the audio coming from the radio, from the speakers. So I got to figure out where my comments are. Oh, it's not showing me. All right, I believe they would be here if I was to have any. So I will do my first comment. That should work. I'm going to try to put it up above, that way I can hear it. Or I can see it, not hear it. All right, that should be good there. Now I'm just technically making sure all my cameras are active. Yep, they look like they are. That's up there. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to see if I can't switch over to my GoPro. Now let me check on the how it looks, if it's too high, too low. I think that's good. Let's change that. Okay, I think we're good there. We've got that set up. I've got this camera set up. That camera is over there. And then we've got this one. So here we go. So right now, I will be, once I find my bottle that I've lost. There it is. I'm just going to clean the windows first on the outside. And then I've got the film is already cut up, so all I really have to do is just tint the windows. Patterns have been pre-cut on the plotter. So we're coming close to Christmas. We're a couple days away from December. And I ain't gonna lie, but today was our first day I put the Christmas music on. And of course, one of my employees said it's not even December yet. But I was just getting the Christmas vibe this morning on the way to work. There was enough dew on the ground that it almost resembled snow. It doesn't snow in my town. But it gives me just the hint of snow. I'm definitely glad I don't live where it snows. Even to say visiting could be a challenge, especially since I'm not used to it. But luckily I haven't had to drive on the snow very much. I definitely enjoy the heat over the cold. I had a guy come by to check out for maybe adding a heater in here. He is the opposite. He prefers cold. We have a propane tank that we just blow air or blow fire, and that seems to work. So like I said, this is pre-cut. So these are right here. These are the two front doors. This is 35% PanaFlex from Flexfilm. And then I'll be putting 20% on top of the factory tint on the back. Now I've got my headphones on and I'm actually listening to Christmas music just to keep me in the spirit. We decided to do some kind of secret Santa, except for we all just going to tell each other what we want, give ourselves a small handful to pick from. So I don't know if that's cheating or not, but I don't think we should trust each other to know what gifts we want for each other. There's things I need, and if someone's going to buy me something, it should be what I need. And if I'm going to buy somebody something, it should be what they need. Now hopefully this will all go well. Of course, if I have to cut the video short, I will, but it's 11 o'clock here in California, a.m. I think it's 11 o'clock, yeah, 11:01. And we're going to probably try to have a simple lunch at noon. So if I can manage to get most of this done, if not all of it, in an hour, that'd be awesome. So I'm just going to place these on the outside for starters to heat shrink. So now I've got just the film for the two front doors ready to be heat shrink, but now I'm going to go back over here and get the other ones. It's a 3-piece back window, so I don't heat shrink the 3 pieces. If it was a 1-piece, then I would actually shrink just the 1 piece on this glass table, not on the car. But in this particular case, all I'm going to do is just cut them up, peel the border out that I'm scissoring around the pre-cut pattern. And then when I'm ready to tint it, I'll probably carry all 3 of the different windows, if not 2 for sure, into the truck with me. And tint them right there inside the truck, while trying to sit comfortably as I can, facing the opposite direction the chairs were meant to be faced. Meant to be sitting. So I do like to try and cut maybe just a couple of centimeters, 1/4 of an inch, as close to the edge. The plotter in this case isn't cutting all the way through in every spot, so I do get these situations that I have to assist. And I can trim them while I tint if they're up above the door edge, but I still try to just clean them up the best I can. And then some of the patterns don't have the problem with the plotter, and this peels really smooth. This one needs some more work right here. I don't know if you're seeing that or not. So this one's ready. And then this should be the correct side. I've got the liner side out. Yep, and this curve kind of fits a lot better here and here, so it's definitely the one for this side. I'll be heat shrinking that in a minute. Now it is time to start watching Christmas movies, I guess, but I still just watch my old traditional ones. They come out with new movies every year, it seems like. But most of the time I don't get to pay attention to the TV because I'm up to something else, so that's why I just like watching the same stuff over and over. So that would be, at my time, age, era, I watched Lethal Weapon 1. What's the one with John McClane? Die Hard? Die Hard 1? I don't even know if the other ones had anything to do with Christmas. Because they had like, I think 4 more or 3 more after that. Die Hards 2, 3, and 4. So these are all up here, and now I can technically heat shrink them. I'll worry about the back door later. So on the sides, I prefer to use a harder hard card. But the back windows on cars, I'll use a soft Mac tack tool. So this should work well. And I don't really pull the panels or the sweeps. The back doors on this car might not be so challenging as these front doors, but I still just kind of leave it the same. But what I do like to do is kind of double shrink most all my doors. So what I call the long side, I leave the gap there on the long side, right here. And then after I heat shrink it like that, then I'll do the opposite. I'll leave the space right here. And I'll do that on all 4 doors. And I'd almost like a little better space right here, but I can work with what I gave myself. But I like to have a space for just the heat shrinking part. Kind of similar to, as I say, I can run my finger all the way across. And then, like I said, I'm going to double shrink. And now again, this time, I will overlap the long side here. I mean, these are about the same, so this would be a hard one to call. So you could either say the long side by the door handle or the long side closer to the front door. Whatever helps you remember what part it is. So when you're explaining your story to somebody else, now I'll temporarily keep these over here. I have this blanket that I saved right here. And this is what I'm going to use to cover up the back seats while I sit on them. So that'll come into play later. Now we'll heat shrink these 2 guys. Some windows need more heat shrinking than others. These really aren't so bad. After I push the water out, whatever kind of what we call fingers pop back up is all I'm just trying to kind of focus on this first part. And then, like I said, since I kind of double shrink the doors, when I lift it up and scoot them in, like I said, I'm going to scoot these in a little bit, keep my space at the bottom. but I'll leave the film itself floating a little bit better. I won't kind of push it out as hard. And then that way, that'll just help me kind of get extra shrinking at the bottom. So there's my space, just kind of leave it as is. I'm just using the tint tack solution that I get with Flexfilm. So that's my soapy solution. So like I say, I'm kind of pressing the film harder here, and now I'm lightly pressing it to kind of get that double shrink off the bottom. In reality, it's not to say necessary, but I'm sure if I didn't do it, I could still completely tint the window without getting too much of any real problems. It's just an extra precaution, an extra step, extra detail, extra help on my part. Now I'm going to actually tape up these doors and cover up the door panels. Kind of guesstimating the length, and then I don't want the tape to get stuck within itself, so I kind of want to fold this back, cut off that lip, and then next time it's waiting for me. So I'm going to take this twice. The first time is just right here on the panel, then I'm going to put a cloth around the door and then tape the cloth to this tape. Now, like I say, I'll tape this to the tape. Same story. Guess how much it's going to come out. Flip up the edge. Cut off my piece. I'm just kind of going in the middle and then taping it to the tape. And that's it. I'll do that 3 more times, I guess. Here's my cloth. I don't tape the sides. I've tried it. It just seems to get I get a little, what is it called? Clumsy. Can't quite seem to get it to stay or put it in a good position. So I kind of just gave up on the taping the sides to felt. So I don't think I have the cloth. Yeah, the weather this morning here was, I think, like around 32, 31 degrees this morning. And then whenever it does actually rain in this town, then it cools itself a little bit, or warms up, I guess you'd say, and that's how come we don't really get snow in this town. But you could probably head out of town, and in about 30 to 40 minutes you could reach the snow. But who wants to do that? Unless you're snowboarding, I guess, right? Which I hope to do soon enough. Take a work day off, take the employee, run up there, snowboard, come back just in time. Act like I never left. This is just a blanket with some more soft blanket-like material, lint-free cloth that I've tied to the ends. Tape these up, and then we just have one more to tape up. And then we'll be starting to tint the doors. Got caught on itself. That's our heater that we use to keep us warm in the morning. In the flesh, so to speak. All right, one more door. And then we're off to tinting. We did buy a barbecue for work, so now we've been eating chicken, and we had hot dogs. We might even have steak today. We were usually just getting fast food, and that's of course no good. Not on an everyday basis. So now of course steak is a hell of a lot better. We'll live a longer life now. Steak and chicken. All right, I think we're damn near ready. I just gotta go turn the power on and get started. Keys are on the roof. All right, here we go. Headlights off, yep. Headlights are off. You guys can see me, yay, nay. I think I saw me over there. Now the window is pretty much basically clean to start with. As I'm feeling around, I don't feel any extra debris, so it's pretty much just a quick scrub, squeegee, and tint. Yeah, I've had this pink squeegee here for quite some time, but it sure seems to work well. I tend to outuse my tools until they're about ready to fall apart. Kind of like your typical guy does with their underwear, you know, they just let it go to hold up, grungy, dirty, old. And then finally Christmas comes, you get a new pair of underwear and it's all back to normal again. So I need a new tool, I guess, for Christmas. All right, here I come. Let's put this film on here. Now most of my patterns I will kind of shave a little bit on the top if it seems to not fit very well. So let's see how close and accurate this is. Looking good. We don't want the sheriff tint right to pull me over for these gaps. Pull the customer over, nevertheless. Customer would freak out. What am I getting pulled over for? Your window tinter left you some gaps. That's not good. Now, the goal is to find out how dry I need to get it so that it won't keep moving around. So for starters, I'm going to warm up the outside a little bit. Get the other side going on in here. I should be able to feel how warm it's getting, but the glass is cold, the shop is cold. I mean, I'm not feeling anything. Wait a minute. Oh, no, gun's good. No, this is actually pretty good. A little goes a long way. Not wait until it's boiling hot. And now we'll just kind of trim my top edge a little here, shave it up. That worked good. Power hit the top edge one last time. And then just to be safe, as I said, I'm kind of trying to move the film lightly. And it's not going nowhere, so I think we're good to roll her up. Now usually, like we said, since I'm not really taping the sides, I definitely want to hit up a little bit higher in here. Make sure we get anything that's coming down. Pull my film back, or my release liner. Continue to get the rest of the film soapy wet. Now I'll just gently try to creep it into the edges. Gently, gently. All right, this one's practically almost done. Unless we notice a hair or something in here. What's that? Nothing, it's on the outside. What's that? It's on the outside. All right, I think we're doing good. Oops, drop the tool, drop the tool. Dropping tools are bad. Good thing they're plastic. Now we're ready to take this off. Now sometimes I could just move along in case I discover I have to retint it, then I'd have to put everything back on. So I am kind of keeping my eye open for anything. I don't really see anything. But I'm gonna go ahead and take it all off now. One down, 3 to go, and then 3 little windows in the back. Keep the trash going, get rid of your trash. Where's my trash can? Alrighty, alrighty, alrighty. Is that a bubble? No, but that's a blob of water. We'll come back and clean that later. All right, you can't even see me from over there, I think. So I'll have to go back to the GoPro. Just hitting the edges, the bottom that I can reach with my fingers, the top. Take another tool and get a little deeper inside that I can't reach with my fingers. Bam! Kind of power hit the top a little bit. I don't want to use this tool too much because it does kind of scratch soft glass kind of. So, like I said, mostly I'm just feeling for things and lightly pressing harder with like the hard card. The scrub pad I'll kind of go a little hard because that's what I'm doing, is trying to clean up the common type of dirt, dust, grime, debris that'll get on your windows, cigarette smoke. So today is Wednesday. Yesterday was actually Taco Tuesday. So we definitely had tacos yesterday. And I don't know what you're supposed to do on Wednesday, but it looks like for lunch, I'll be having some kind of chicken or steak or a hot dog. But tonight, I don't know what I'm getting. Hopefully it'll be good, you know. Wednesday meatloaf. So this one I feel is already tacked enough that I can get away. Well, let's warm it up a little bit. It did move a little bit when I did that. Thought I was good. Sometimes if you just warm up the glass where the film is going to be, it sticks better to the physical warm glass rather than just warming up the tint. But if the glass is warm and then you slide your tint into that area, then it usually tacks down a lot quicker. All right, we're up. We're spraying. We're gently cleaning the best we can. I can't get that out good. We make a rocket. Throw it in the trash can. Things are getting in place. I wouldn't say we're halfway there because we still have the back window to go. But what I'm saying is when it comes to these doors, I'm about halfway done. I'm just gonna pull this off. Take off the door panel cover. Trip over my heat gun cord. We are, well, I'm going to clean the outside too. Once I finish cleaning this outside, then we are halfway done with the doors. Getting close. The back will go by a lot quicker than 4 doors. That's, of course, a lot easier to understand how quickly the back 3 should go. Now, the way I overlap the film, I'm going to start up here. Somebody's asking me a good question, if someone could ever get better than me. And there's a good answer to that. See if I can get to it. High school train. Is that it? Is that when you teach somebody? Nope, that's just a choo-choo train. Well, then maybe I'll just put teach. There we go. Only the ones I teach. So, Dennis, if you want to shoot on down, I'll teach you everything you need to know. How's that sound? I think he can get it. There's hope and potential. All right, here we go. 2 more to go. Windows are clean. Cleaning shouldn't take very long. All right, that's it, that's it. Each stage So that stage was just cleaning the window. Now I'm squeegeeing the window. That's another stage. Then I'm gonna go grab my film. It's another stage. Stages after stages. Definitely want to try to get as much of the window wet as possible. Touching it as little as possible, but I am guilty. I touch the film more than others have learned how to avoid touching it at all. They carry the underside of it, but I definitely try to clean my fingers off before I grab the film. So I got that going for me. All right, we got the forward-facing camera. I got to remember which camera's which. I've got to label it or just remember it better. I need my heat gun. We'll warm this up again. Or for the first time on this one, but this is the warming up stage. As I was saying, just the heat shrinking was done. That was a stage. Now I'm tacking the film to the glass. The liner rocket was our favorite part. Nice, nice, nice. I'm surprised I made it, but I was pretty close to that trash can. It's when I'm farther away that I get excited when I make it. That one I just tossed. Let nature take its course. The aerodynamics. Yeah, the trucks are a lot easier too because you get a stand. When you're doing like most sedans, you're kind of sitting on a stool, which isn't terrible, but then you're limited to your amount of motion, your movement. How much space you can kind of get around a lot easier. With the truck, if I'm standing, I can move anywhere I want. Take a vacation if I want. Although I never take vacation. All right, another step down. I mean, we're almost done, and I'd only just started. I got my box of edge film, if you can see that over there. I'm going to be trying to hand cut patterns. And then they're going to convert them into vector graphics. And then that way I can use that to just pre-cut it off the plotter. We do have a plotter that we're using now. This is just a new database they're going to try to help build. I've been using a plotter though ever since 2006. Out of my garage, nevertheless, I had gotten a plotter and luckily knew enough about computers that you kind of need to understand, you know, your common turn on and turn off and unplug and try over again if it's not working. Computers are a little more stable nowadays, but still, you still need to kind of have some computer knowledge, especially if you have to call support, so that you understand what they're asking you to do. But I got pretty frustrated. I mean, I even still do, although now it's more of just a standardized disappointment, complaining. I mean, it doesn't matter what environment we have, we'll find a way to complain about it. It's nature, it's what makes us human, complaining. Like, where's my heat gun? Complaining. So this top edge, like I say, if you can, I don't know how well where the camera's aiming, but this top edge wasn't so smooth. However, since I'm trimming it, that'll kind of clean that up. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to have to do so much of it at the table if I can just hand smooth it out with the Alpha blade knife here. All right, now we're going to power hit the top edge again, like I said, the last one, or the other one. I mean, I have to be doing it to all of them. So now, like I said, I'm kind of just dragging the film down with my fingertips, and if the film don't move, then it ain't no film of mine. Then I could roll it up. And assume I don't need any more heat. Let's get my trash. Oh! All right, like I say, we're almost ready to go. I always kind of get a little ahead of myself. I think it's traditional as a window tinter to think you're done before you're done. You think you're done before you crease it and have to redo it. That's usually what happens. We jinx ourselves. All right, am I on the right side or is that camera frozen? Nope, there we are. All right, let me clean this up. Another stage and step done. Whoops. Whoa! Looks good, looks good. Got the window tinting clean and tint. Where am I? I am using Tint Tech 2020. I have a Graph Tech plotter. What is it, 7500. I also have an 8600, I believe is what it is, but I wound up getting some work done to that one and have just continued to use the old original one I first started with in 2006, and it's still moving strong. So that's good. Now I got to turn the car's power off here. Let's get that done here. All right. Doors are done for the most part, unless we find a problem. Let's hope we don't find a problem. Put the keys back on the roof. We'll open up this side for air. Now we'll come over here and scissor up the back windows, tail lights and stuff are on. I don't know if I got to turn the power back off. Now it's a toss-up between whether I prefer a one-piece back window or a three-piece back window. I kind of enjoy heat shrinking on the table the film, then reverse rolling it up and bringing it into the car. So those steps don't bother me, and then when it comes to these, there's definitely just more cutting involved, which isn't a bad thing. But especially the way my plotter doesn't cut through very well in some spots, then it's just extra work if I got to clean it up. Whereas the one piece, it's just a simple slice and go. Let's see here, I don't think we're snagging anywhere yet. Nope, that looks good. That's just the way it got cut, if you saw that. I don't know how well this GoPro flips upside down, if it does that or not. I have some kind of mod thing on here, an extra lens, but you're typically not supposed to be kneeling your head all the way down. Boom. We're ready. Now I'm just going to grab my tweezers and clean up this leftover mess that I can. Looks like the headlights have kicked off, so we're good. Tail lights, headlights. Let's come in here. We're running low on water. I might even have to fill up. I don't know. Can I get in here? Can you guys see me? Yeah. Yeah. There we go. 2 in a row, like I said. I think I can handle these 2 right in front of each other, and then I might go to the other side or just scoot over further to get the other last one. But once again, these windows feel pretty smooth and clean. Sometimes there will be some kind of pit or even a piece of residue from something they taped on the back window. So in this case, I don't notice or see anything. So I am good to move forward. Let's go figure out which one's my film. So this is one of them. Got that one. Now we'll go grab the other one before we start squeegeeing them out. Step inside backwards. Go back in time. Can't go back in time, Einstein, unless you step in a car backwards. So this corner, there's something going on there. I'm gonna have to trim that. Just kind of run my blade across it delicately. Everything's covering there. So, other than the fact that I still have a little cleaning up to do, I got one window left. And that's it. Job done. Now, like I said, I didn't cut up the film, so that was already done for me earlier. But it sure took me a long time to get the camera stuff set up, and the GoPro, and by the time I got started, when I told them I was starting, He thought I was already done. Nope, just starting. All right, this is cleaned up. I can put this on here, but I gotta use it for the other side. This one's the middle, right? Come on, get in your home. All right, that's it. Another steps are done. We're on our way to freedom. Freedom to take my lunch. Freedom to let this vehicle sit and dry up a little bit. Freedom to wait for Christmas again. Now I'm going to go ahead and wet and squeegee this table because it's already got some water on it from when I just peeled those. So that way I'll just clean up my mess before I run over to the other side. What side am I on? I'm trying to find my cameras. Am I over here? No, it's the other side. Uh-oh. Camera's froze on me. Oh, I can't fix that. So we will just go straight to here and get back to work. I guess we're just stuck with this camera till the end. But this is pretty much the best one. Oh, the other ones I just kind of stage around the best I can. Alrighty. This defroster line, I wouldn't say it looks like it's no longer there, but it seems a little thin and light. I have noticed sometimes when it does have those stickers that are on here, and then when we take the stickers off, it seems to like kind of destroy the defroster a little bit. It always worries me that you might, by pulling off a sticker, kind of inevitably just kind of pull a little of the defroster stuff with it. Hope my heat gun don't get too wet. Spraying water in that area. That's it. Last window just was basically covered. Now we squeegee it out. I haven't been able to pay attention to the time. I don't know how long. Oh, I know it was about 11. So yeah, it's been about 50 minutes, I believe, since I practically started. So that's not bad. Like I said, so I mean, depends on how well you cut up film. How much more time should I be adding to this hour-long job? Maybe less than 20 minutes, I'm sure. But maybe as many as 10. So definitely less than an hour and a half to technically tint a car. If there were no interruptions from start to finish, let's do this. I mean, again, I still want to let this car sit for a little while, go back and push some more things out. We're not out of the woods yet. We're close. But you could still smell the pine needles. All right, like I said, steps have been taken. Let's close this up. I'm gonna grab, do I have a paper towel anywhere? Should have some over here. I don't see any. But what I do have is a cloth. Oh. So not only does this kind of clean up and absorb the water, but it is soaking the water up. So it squeegees it out, soaks it up, cleans up the film. Kind of a multi-purpose touch-up. Oh, man. There we go. Everything else looks good. We already cleaned the outside. Nope, not this side, I can tell. Let's hit this one last time. And that's all she wrote. All she tinted. Bingo. Car is done. Whoa. Let's hope that don't break apart. All right. We did it. We did it. All right. Tint is going to come visit the next time they're in California. See you then. Can't wait to see you then. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Now how do I end this darn thing, right? Have a good holidays if I don't see you till then.